Okay, here's a storyline that I want you guys to just kind of monitor, right? All right, 2 storylines actually. I want you guys to keep your eyes on this. NBA fans, I know y'all follow my platform for real up-to-date news, but this is one that I want you guys to monitor. The Pelicans are not playing great basketball right now. They're not the worst team in the league. They're not playing great right now. A lot of teams are not playing great right now. A lot of teams' schedules have kind of picked up, and teams are losing games. All right. When Anthony Davis decided to sign with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports this summer, so for those who don't know who Rich Paul is and what his agency is, Rich Paul is a close friend of LeBron James. He started with LeBron as his first client, and obviously with the clout and power that LeBron has, he's seen one of his closest friends be able to pretty much grow his agency from the ground up. That's LeBron James' agent. All right, not Maverick Carter. That's LeBron James' close friend that he grew up with and his manager. He met him in high school. He met Rich a little bit later down the line. I think towards the end of high school, right when LeBron was about ready to sign, somewhere right there, right, with an agent. But Rich is a very close friend of LeBron, does his business deals. All right, so that's just wanted to kind of put that distinction out there. Anthony Davis signed with Rich Paul. He fired his agent and signed with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports at the end of the summer. All right. A lot of people are looking up like, yo, that's kind of, where did that come from? Like, yo, Anthony Davis, why sign there? A lot of people are like, yo, is this Anthony Davis' way to find himself on a championship contending team? Can he find a way to get out of New Orleans and go to the Los Angeles Lakers? Anthony Davis cannot just leave this summer and go to the Lakers. I want to make that clear for all the people who've been saying Anthony Davis is going to be a Laker 2019. He's not a free agent. He's got a couple more years left on that deal after this year. I don't know why he signed that long-term deal with New Orleans. I was mad when he did it. Go back and watch one of my videos a couple years ago. But he's a loyal dude. He loved New Orleans. He loved the area. They took a chance on him at one, and he loves him, right? He's got a couple years left on this deal, meaning the only way Anthony Davis can get out of New Orleans right now is to say, I am upset. Can you trade me? The only way Anthony Davis can get to LA for the next couple years, technically, is for New Orleans, well, for Anthony Davis to walk into the office and tell the New Orleans Pelicans, look, I'm pissed. I don't want to be here. Not only do I want to be here, I want y'all to know, if y'all trading me to, I don't know, the Atlanta Hawks, let them know I'm not signing with them long term. So they could give up Trae Young right now in the next year's first round pick. They can give it up for me, and I'll stay there for a year or two, and then once my contract's up, I'm out. Let Atlanta know that right now. It ain't no way that I'm signing there long term. Let them know I don't want to be in Atlanta. Now, at that point, a team like the Hawks could be like, yo, we looked at what happened with Paul George. Paul George wanted to be a Laker. The Thunder took a risk on trading for Paul George. They traded Victor Oladipo. Paul George said, these fans actually love me here after a season. I want to stay here for 4 more years. So, I mean, you could do that. Atlanta or any other team could do that, you know. But usually, you know, we believe Kawhi Leonard's going to leave Toronto and go somewhere else after this year. Generally speaking, teams don't want to give up assets like a Trae Young or whatever it is, or a future first-round pick, a top 5 protected pick, if they know the guy's heading elsewhere. It's a huge risk for a franchise. So Anthony Davis could theoretically go into that Pelicans office and say, look, I want to go to the Lakers. Let every team know I'm going to LA and being a Laker no matter what in a couple years. Do what you want, but I ain't staying long term. Obviously, we know Rich Paul, his top priority, I don't care what he say, I don't care, because he's managing Ben Simmons right now, and he's got, I think, John Wall on the management deal as well. His top priority will forever be LeBron James, the guy he started this thing with. All right, the guy that put him in a position. So he would love to work out a deal to help get his top 2 guys on the same team. Oh, that'd be phenomenal for him. Actually had 3 guys on that roster, because right now Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's with Clutch Sports as well. So that could happen. That could 100% happen. Anthony Davis could go demand that trade. And maybe it's not just to the Lakers. The Boston Celtics are the second part of this storyline. That's the second part I want to bring up to you guys. The Boston Celtics have to make decisions. Period. They got to make decisions. They can't sign Kyrie to a long-term deal, Terry Rozier to a long-term deal. They got problems. In like what, a year from now, Jason Tatum can get an extension, or excuse me, Jaylen Brown can get an extension, and in 2 years from now, Jason Tatum can get an extension. I think Jason Tatum is a priority. I don't know about Jaylen Brown. He might be one of the odd ducks out. between Kyrie Irving and Terry Rozier. Obviously, Kyrie's a better player, but I'm the type of guy who thinks like this, and I know if trust me, I am not an NBA GM. If I can think like this, their GM is one of the smartest and VP is one of the smartest in the game. Danny Ainge is always thinking for the future. That's how you build a team like that. Remember, he traded Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce for a lot of picks from Brooklyn. That's how you got this team where it's at right now. Danny Ainge is thinking this. I like Kyrie a lot, but do I like him enough to lose the rest of my nucleus? I'm already giving Gordon Hayward max money. Al Horford close to max money. We paid Marcus Smart this summer. Marcus Morris is making decent money. So if you're Danny Ainge, you know, the Boston Celtics, they're turning this thing around. They've won a few games in a row as I make this video. But let's keep it a G. If the Celtics don't get past the, you know, they don't get to the finals, Danny Ainge, and that owner's going to tell Danny Ainge, look, I ain't paying all these guys if they can't make it to the finals. So I don't believe the Raptors are, I don't believe the Celtics are beating the Raptors. I still look at Boston as a team that can give the Warriors the most problems, but I don't think they can make it to the finals to get to the Warriors. I think the Raptors are better, pound for pound. Hell, I think Milwaukee's close. Philly's close. So I said all that to say, Danny Ainge might look up and be like, yo, I like Kyrie, he cool, but damn, if I could get Terry Rozier $10 million less, $15 million less, you know, John Wall is going to be making $48 million on the last year of his deal. Kyrie can get that type of money as well. If I'm Danny Ainge, if I can get Terry Rozier for like $20 million less, and now I could keep Jaylen Brown and Tatum and maybe trade Gordon Hayward, I might have to listen to that. I like me some Kyrie, but damn, do I love Kyrie to go $200 million in the luxury tax. So there are big decisions happening in Boston. Here's one way you fix that issue. You trade some of these pieces, and now you get rid of one of those issues, right? You got to trade a Kyrie, and Kyrie's gonna have to. He could leave if he wanted to, right? He can go to New York or Brooklyn. You never know what Kyrie's gonna do, but he'd be leaving a lot of money on the table because the Pelicans would own his bird rights, right? If you're I'm just saying, if the Celtics are like the 4 or 5 seed at the deadline, right? If you're Danny Ainge, you mean to tell me you wouldn't consider, damn, I might go Kyrie. I don't know, man. I might go Kyrie and Al Horford for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a once-in-a-lifetime type talent. You wouldn't do that? Y'all talk to me in the comments about, you wouldn't do that? Shit. If I go Kyrie and Al Horford for Anthony Davis, look at that Boston Celtics team and tell me they didn't get better. Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they now know that they're the guys. They know that the future is in their hands. I mixed that in with Marcus Morris, a dog who I like. Shit. Then I got, excuse me for my language, then I got Anthony Davis. I like Al Horford. He's always in the All-Star game. He ain't no Anthony Davis, all right? I'm just saying, I think it's something that Boston would consider. And if I'm Anthony Davis, look, I want to play with Braun like the Knicks, but I got to really consider playing with that lineup in Boston. That team's pretty darn good. You know, maybe they're able to keep, maybe they go Gordon Hayward and Al Horford. You know, they could do that as well. If I'm the Pelicans, if I think that Anthony Davis is going to be unhappy and he's going to start to play around. See, I don't think that's his personality. He's a good dude, but if he's about to start complaining and crap, man, I might have to take Gordon Hayward and Al Horford for Anthony Davis. That's them 2 All-Stars I'm getting, right? So I'm just telling you guys, there are 2 storylines that I would watch out if I were you. Anthony Davis' temperament and how happy he is in New Orleans. They need to win some ball games to keep him happy or make a move, because they lost everything that they were starting to build. They lost Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins this summer. I don't think enough people are talking about that. And you know that Pelicans team, they just destroyed Portland last year in the playoffs. And look, man, if Steph Curry wouldn't have got healthy, I think they would have gave the Warriors a run for their money. I'm just saying that team could have easily been in the Western Conference Finals had Steph not got healthy in time. I'm sure Anthony Davis is not happy that they let DeMarcus Cousins walk for nothing. I know they got Julius Randle, but they let Cousins walk for nothing. They could have just paid him and kept that money on the books and seen what he was about when he got healthy. And you lost Rondo over a couple $1 million. And Rondo wanted to be there. Man, all right. We got to watch that that New Orleans team and see how happy Anthony Davis is, and that Boston Celtics storyline. Them are two things you need to worry about in regards to what could potentially happen with Anthony Davis in his future. I kind of broke that down. I like how I did that. Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. Where would y'all want to see Anthony Davis play his basketball career at? I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. They are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV, here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.